morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Power Rangers News Report. Coming at you with me, the host, Jimmy Fallon, and my co-host, James Corden.
Hey everyone, that's me. Good morning.
Recently, I've been witnessing many earthquakes this year. James, have you been jumping around causing all these earthquakes with high magnitudes?
I'm sorry, I was just playing with my kids.
That's good, James. All jokes aside, do you know how earthquakes occur?
No, I don't. Do you?
No, but Charles Francis Richard sure does. Everybody welcome the seismologist, Charles Francis Richard.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. I've been really interested in the show, and I've been watching it ever since it came out. I'm especially interested in this fun facts expert fella over there, and he gives out really valuable information. And I'm here to explain everything earthquakes. And by the way, it's Richter, not Richard.
Oh, him and his lame fun facts will make an appearance soon. You study earthquakes. It must be a tough job, right?
Actually, it's a pretty easy job these days. Back then, they used to use this instrument called a seismoscope. But now, basically, all we use is a seismograph, and it basically does all the work for us.
I have never heard of a seismoscope. What is that, Mr. Richter?
Well, I'm glad you asked. The difference between a seismoscope and a seismograph is pretty simple. A seismograph measures the intensity, direction, and magnitude of an earthquake, while a seismoscope only measures that an earthquake occurred.
Hey everyone, did you know that the earliest seismoscope was invented in the year 132? It was invented by a philosopher named Chang Heng. Chang Heng created it out of 8 dragon heads, each dragon head representing the 8 directions on a compass.
Oh boy, I've been really waiting for this one. I actually didn't know that the first seismoscope was invented in China. Thank you, fun facts expert.
No one asked, but I did.
Well, earthquakes don't just come out of nowhere, right? You have something to know where it originated from, right?
Well, of course. An earthquake occurs in a focus, which is a point deep inside the earth. Now, how do we measure it is that when seismic stations pick up seismic waves from the earthquake, we can use this method called a triangulation method to triangulate and determine where the epicenter is. And the epicenter is the point directly above the focus on the land or the surface of the earth.
Oh man, you really are a seismologist.
Hey, quick question. Whenever I see news reports, I normally see this number. I think it's called magnitude? How do you guys measure it?
Well, to start off, magnitude is basically how strong an earthquake is and how intense it is. Now, how do we measure it is we use different types of scales. Now, we use either the Richter scales made by yours truly, or we use a moment magnitude scale. Now, there's no upper limit to these scales, but the highest recorded earthquake ever was in Chile in 1960, and it had a magnitude of 9.5. Now, to get back to the Richter scale measures the ground motion caused by the earthquake, but the moment magnitude scales measures 3 things: the size of the fault zone, and the average distance that the fault blocks moved, and lastly, the rigidity of the rocks in the fault zone. Now, they basically give the same type of data, but a moment magnitude scale is used more often these days because it's more accurate in the larger types of earthquakes.
That's really interesting. But I think I'd rather stay as a news reporter. That sounds kind of boring.
Well, we have a special guest today. Her name is Amanda Peralta, and she's the survivor of the biggest earthquake ever in Chile, Valdivia, in 1960.
Without further ado, everyone please welcome Amanda Peralta.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
No problem. So please, can you tell us about the biggest earthquake that you survived? Was it scary, and how did you manage to survive?
Well, it was such a miracle to make it out alive. I honestly thought it was the end of me. The earthquake left 4,485 people dead and injured. 2 million people were homeless after the earthquake.
I actually wanted to know what happened after the earthquake and how big of an impact it had on the people.
The port of Puerto Saavedra was destroyed in the ensuing tsunami, which caused $550 million worth of damage in Chile and killed a further 170 people as 5-meter waves hit the coasts of Japan and the Philippines. A day later, Volcan Puyehue in Chile's Lake District spewed ash 6,000 meters into the air, in an eruption that lasted for several weeks.
Sheesh, that must have been a very bad earthquake. How was it like experiencing it right there on the spot?
Actually, I was home when the earthquake started. I tried my best to calm down my family as they were beginning to panic. I remember the screams of people. They were screaming really loud in my apartment building. We were told to leave the building immediately as it was about to collapse. I remember the screams of people as we were running down the stairs.
I'm sorry everyone, but I have to interrupt once more. Did you know that the deadliest earthquake occurred in the year 1556? This earthquake occurred in China and was estimated to have killed over 830,000 people. Insane, am I right?
That's really scary, Amanda. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Well, I guess that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember, our next show will air next week at 10:30 a.m. at Channel 12. Thank you.